Hi, Robert Medlin again. I was just thinking, have you ever wondered why God created mosquitoes? And we got mosquitoes, that are trying to terrorize us. And so, why did God create mosquitoes? Why did He create snakes and poisonous snakes? And why did He create uh, moles? We've got moles in our garden, in our yard. Why did God create all these creatures that give us so many problems? And and present danger at some time, and cause our harvest not to be what it should be, and just kind of stealing our joy. Well, these creatures that God created, my personal belief is that God created these creatures to show us things in the natural that are there in the in the spiritual realm that we can't see. Our warfare is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers and powers and principalities and wicked spirits in the heavenly realms. And so, spiritual beings, but those spiritual beings act like uh, creatures that we like lions. They act like bears. They act like insects that cause us problems. That there's over in Europe, there's plagues of locusts now, and you know. In parts of the world that are destroying crops and things. So why does God give us these creatures? He created all these things. Well, He did it in His goodness to show us what we're battling against in the invisible realm that we can't see. We can see the effects, but there are creatures that like to come and sting you and cause you physical distress. There's creatures that want to cause you fear, and all kinds of things like that, to harm you. And so the Lord doesn't want us to just surrender to those things. He wants us to resist those things. If there's a mosquito there, bam, we need to whack it. And, anything that's potentially a cause of harm, we need to stop it. And so, just thought I would throw that out there, that Jesus has given us a reflection of the spiritual realm in the natural. And of course, we see people doing evil things, and that's people that are demon possessed. So we can say, "Oh, that's an evil spirit possessing that person, causing them to do these things, carrying out the desires of this evil spirit in flesh." That's what the devil wants to do: is carry out his desires in the flesh, and he wants to oppress us. Jesus went around healing all who were oppressed by the devil, and so. Anyway, these creatures give us a good example. You got moles out there that are trying to destroy things, trying to destroy your harvest. And so, what are you doing spiritually? Well, you pray. You pray against these spiritual beings, that the Lord would arrest those spiritual beings, and we've been given authority to stop them too in the name of Jesus. And so, and we've got angels that are partnering with us, that are ministering spirits sent to serve us. And so we've got all kinds of ways to combat these spiritual beings that are trying to harass us, and trying to harass our finances, trying to harass our body, trying to stop us from being fruitful, trying to, they're just trying to do all these things. Well, we can stop them, just like we can stop in the natural. Sometimes you have to fight a little bit to get it done, but resist the devil. James and Peter both said, resist the devil and he will flee. Resist the devil. Our warfare is not against flesh and blood, but against rulers and powers and principalities and spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly realms. And so we take the shield of faith and the breastplate of righteousness and the helmet of salvation and the belt of truth, and on top of all that, we gird our feet with our sandals, that our shoes that are fitted with the readiness to preach the gospel of Jesus. And so, anyway, just think about that. That when you see these critters and creatures, those are symbolic and of the devil goes around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. So these creatures are representative of the devil, of the creatures that the devil has under his umbrella there, in his kingdom. And so we can resist all of those. But if we just sit there and act like they don't exist, then and we can just get overwhelmed and overrun. So the Lord wants us to be aware that they exist, and you say, I stop that in the name of Jesus. I command you to stop in the name of Jesus. I command you to leave in the name of Jesus. So we have the ability to direct these things happening in the invisible spiritual realm, because Jesus said, I'll give you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will by any means harm you. And that was in response to the disciples coming back from a ministry trip saying, Lord, even the demons submit to us in your name. So yes, the demons submit to us in the name of Jesus. And so the Lord wants us to, kind of think about these natural things that mess up our life and mess up our yard and stuff like that. Those are symbolic of representative of spiritual creatures that we can stop, just like we can stop the things in the natural too. Well, God bless you. Have a wonderful day.